Hello, my succulent friends. It's me, Suze, and I'm back. So, last vlog was about my plant mail swap. So, I didn't name any names when I recorded opening it because, as I said, I wasn't sure if it's appropriate, but I think it's time to give credit where credit's due, and that's to Evelyn. You may see her in some of the comments on my videos. She was the lovely lady who gifted me with all these beautiful cuttings and some, new samplings of some succulents. So I just thought best to give her credit. I've never, I didn't want to embarrass her in case, I didn't want to embarrass her just in case it was private or whatever. You know what I'm saying. Anyway, big thank you to Evelyn. And it was interesting on some of your comments that people are considering doing a plant swap. Maybe even get together with, maybe connect with somebody locally in your neighbourhood. It's a good place to start if you don't want to do it online. Anyway, I thought we could do a little update today. So I'll look back on the video for a timestamp so we can sort of see how much time has progressed. I'd say it's been about 2 weeks, where we did a little. I got some leaf propagations together from a Supreme. Now I forgot again. Was it a Graptovaria, Graptopedilum, Grapta something? But it's the Supreme, and we had some flower blooms. Is that how it went? That's right. So I had a few stems. So we put a couple in the pots, and then a couple we took the leaves off. So since I've got the pot in my hand, we'll do a little update on that. So you can see in front of the leaf, there's a baby there, and there's another one there, and there's one there. Now, do these stems have roots? Yeah, a little bit. So that's good. Let's have a look at this one. Not really. Hang on. Looks like there's a little. That's a little dark. It's not really rot, but so what I find fascinating about that is even before it's grown any roots, it's already thrown off little pups. So that's cool. And if I recall, this was the top of a head that I actually accidentally cut off. I think it belonged there. That's right, it did. And I took a few leaves off here. In hindsight, I wish I had have separated these leaves, because technically this is not a flower bloom. It was just a new offset. But very interestingly, that too now has a bulb. Many of you may be very familiar with this, I'm sure, but many of you are not. And this might be like, oh, wow, so that's what happens. So yes, that's what happens. And I did sort of say, particularly with, oops, bump the camera frame again, particularly with graptotypes, they do it quite easily. Let me just loosely just pop them back there for a sec. So then we created 2 different trays, and initially I was going to try a different technique with wetting paper towel and seeing if the results are any different, but I definitely don't want to do that. I haven't even wet it once because I'm very not fond of manky wet leaves, as I've sort of expressed a few times. So I don't think I want to do that. But interestingly enough, there are some roots coming. Just not many. So if we weigh up time frames between leaf propagation and propagating from an old flower bloom, this is already doing better, isn't it? And these are still flower bloom leaves. I don't often propagate with leaves that aren't flower bloom leaves, just incidentally, And this was going to be the tray where we just sort of, you know, use the sort of, I'll say traditional method. I don't know if it's traditional, but, you know, the most common one, I guess. So we've got some bulbs coming along, which is good. But I'm a little bit disappointed that I didn't think it through properly. The leaves that I took off, hang on, this is all disassembled properly, disassembled. The leaves that I took off this one, remember this is not a flower bloom, this is just a cutting. Oh, look, that's rooting too. I should have separated those in these trays to see if leaves from, you know, regular old leaves versus leaves from a flower bloom grow differently. But alas, I did not, so it's kind of a moot point now. I might just put all of these in the same tray because I am space poor and one less tray hanging around is good. So I think we'll just compare from the stems to leaves on their own. But this is another reason why I don't like leaf propagation too much. Don't know if you can see that. I'm trying to focus it. Yeah. Okay. So let me just look at it myself through my own eyes. To me, it looks like there's a little mealy action happening, and that's why I don't like working with leaves a lot, because they're vulnerable to mealies. I guess mealies are like that young, fresh, new growth. But anyway, that's just. Oh my God, the pigeons are going nuts. Pigeon, you know, that's what I've dubbed my pigeon that hangs around here. He's chasing the doves around on my on the roof of this pergola. He's a silly bird. Well, he's very dominant, isn't he? Hey, Pigeon, what are you doing, Pigeon? What are you doing, Pigeon? Are you hungry? Are you hungry? I had to pause and film my pigeon, so hopefully I just inserted that footage just a second ago. Anyway, what was I up to? Oh yeah, and I haven't watered this either. You know, I have a bit of a treat them mean, keep them keen kind of attitude. Nah, yeah, I could water it. Obviously, there's a few roots happening, but yeah, you know, if I get around to it. Right. So this is feels like it's turning out to be an update video. So what else do we have? Now, those of you who follow regularly know I hurt my Aeonium sunburst crest. You know, I only just got it and I overwatered it and the stem got rot. So I chopped it up into some pieces and, you know, trying to make best of what the situation. And good news is we do have some roots. So there you go. A little bit of root action. Actually, while I'm at it, I might as well just spray those roots with a little bit of water. And I don't know if you recall, but it was a little bit sunburnt when I bought it. I thought I was going to nurture it back from sunburn, but it turns out I had to nurturing it back from inflicting rot on it from overwatering. Anyway, there's a little bit of roots happening there, so that's cool. And the remaining pieces have got them as well. Oh, not that little one, this one does. That orange brown stuff is cinnamon. So I'm learning that cinnamon is a good rooting agent, a bug deterrent for those who are new to my channel, just to keep you informed. I don't know why I've kept the leaves for propagation. I guess, you know, hopeful, but I really don't think aeoniums propagate from leaves. I think I've seen maybe once or twice something happening, but very insignificantly, so I should just throw them out. But you know, maybe I'm just feeling optimistic. Okay, let's just put that aside for now. And then I took these leaves off as well from when I was doing maintenance on one of my pots. I'm not sure on the correct pronunciation, so name should be right about there somewhere. I'm laughing at myself because that's what YouTubers do, don't they? They point at parts of the screen where they insert something later. And these were a sedum. Nothing's happening off those, but we do have some jelly ones. So not all leaves are going to be healthy enough to, you know, hang out for the long haul to give us a baby. So I'll just pluck them out. Is anyone a fan of The Matrix? I quite like those movies a lot. And you know, when they're the machines come and pluck out the bad human batteries, I always think this is what it's like when I take these leaves out. Anyway, some of you might know what I'm talking about if you haven't watched the movie, but that's what that reminds me of. And what else? Oh, right, the next update was I had a big giant flower bloom, and I had cut off all the flowers, and I had found some little pups that had actually grown in the flower bloom, which was a little unusual, but anyway, that's them there. What are these leaves? Oh, I know what they are. Doesn't matter. I put them there. Space Paw. Prime real estate. Anyway, so I noticed there's a little root happening there. Okay, one root and two. So they're coming along. So they should be new little pups ready to go. But more so, I wanted to show you the flower stem and what's happening. I don't know if you can see the web. What's happening is the spider has moved in. But we're getting a little action happening. There. And there. However, I suspect this one might be a new flower bloom trying to grow. Okay, the purpose, what we're trying to do for the newcomers is we're trying to grow a pup in front of a flower bloom of a large echeveria. This one happens to be a big red. So we are demonstrating things do grow in front of the leaf, but I suspect this might be another flower bloom because it is a flower bloom and that's what it wants to do. So it's still a little bit immature to find out what's happening there. I can see another something happening down near the stem too. What we're trying to make happen is this sort of thing, where this is an old flower bloom. This has been happening for a good couple of months now. I think this is an Echeveria Zorro, and the actual leaves, these, from the bloom have since passed, basically dried up and, you know, plucked off or fallen off, and the pup that was growing in front of them still remains. I really should take these off. They're more than ready to root up. I might just pop one off so you guys can see. Let's pop off this bottom one. Try and do it where you can visually see it properly. So you really don't have to fuss too much. Just it wants to break off, you know, it wants to detach so it can establish as its, you know, as an individual. Is that roots? Yeah. So it's already thrown off some roots. I wonder if I should take another one off. Oh yeah, why not? I really wasn't thinking about it because I've got a lot of things to pot up, and this will just make more things to pot up, but I'll do it nevertheless. There we go. It's quite a good size. Compare it to my hand, but they are large echeverias, and this technique doesn't work on all succulents. You'll get your optimal results from the big echeverias with the big flower blooms. Just trying to put it in view where you guys can see what I'm doing. So I hope everyone's enjoying their weekend. It's been a little bit wet in Oz if you're not from Australia, though I think the other states, New South Wales, where Sydney is, Queensland, I think they're getting a lot heavier rainfall than we got. Yesterday it was more like just a spring showers, really. It was very nice. And in the twilight, at dusk, the light had this beautiful pink hue. You know when the sky gets red, and I might leave these two. Oh no, actually I won't, because this top part of the stem is drying up. There's nothing really going on there. Let's just get them all off. Anyway, the pink hue was just amazing. It was like literally looking through rose tinted glasses last night. So what did I do? I came out and I filmed my succulents. Well, what else was a girl to do? So you can see at the top it's already drying off. Will it grow anymore? No, probably not. It'll probably just eventually just rot down. I was just curious to have a look inside. See, it's still very green, so it was still probably throwing, you know, helping these grow. But I don't think they need much more help anyway. And just out of interest, let's see if we can, I'm not even going to take it out because I can feel it. That's a big root system in there. See how well it re-established on its own? Feels like a shame to throw that out, but I really don't think anything's going to happen after that. Alright, and while we're on flower blooms, there's something else I wanted to show. So I also, is there something happening on this one? It's too big to put in frame. Let me grab another one first. Right, there we go. Oops. Getting a bit squishy around here. Got a lot of stuff on the table. So this is another example. So this is Echeveria Golden Glow. It grows really big heads. It's a really easy one to grow, to be honest. It just does its thing. So this was a flower bloom. You can see the stem there. And look at all these pups. And what happens, like this one, they grow in front of a leaf. And eventually these leaves just dry off and die. And simultaneously the pup will grow as well. And I've even got some stuff shoved in the bottom here. Alright, yep. So just to show you guys that it is possible, it does happen. This was another really big stem, flower bloom stem, that I had saved as well, and I can see something's happening on the top, only just a little bit there. Again, I think that's going to be a flower, unfortunately. So we'll see, it's still too early for that. Now I need some advice, some help from any people who are more experienced with cactuses than I am. I don't even know why I have cactuses, honestly. You know, this whole prickly thing is just, I don't like, because I've been hurt so many times by them. But I did go through a stage where I bought a bunch of them. But this one here, I need some advice. It actually scared the poopies out of me because I thought it was like a spider in there or something. Let me see if I'll zoom in. Hang on. So these were flowers here, right? And I actually left it in the bottom. So inside the flower, there's little black dots. I think they're seeds. Are they seeds? Just somebody tell me, are they seeds? They have to be. Or some weird bug has moved in. Can you see them? They're like little black dots all in there. It looks so gross, but it's seeds, right? Right? I didn't know that cactus seeds could be that big. I thought they would be like succulent seeds, really small. And if they are seeds, I'm not gonna grow them from seeds. I just got too much stuff going on. And yeah, well, maybe I will. I don't know. Help, 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 please help. So, speaking of asking y'all for some help, I asked in a recent video for some help and suggestions what to do with this donkey's tail cutting, and I really appreciate the suggestions and advice. A lot of people said that you secure them down with pins or metal, or even use hair clips to fasten them down. And I get that, that makes sense, right? But I don't think I explained my concerns well enough the first time. So let's just use this pot as an example. Already it's longer than this pot, right? So if I had managed to secure that down, well, first of all, it still is, oh no, okay, it does droop a little bit, but I thought it'd be a bit more horizontal. But it's still longer than the pot, which is challenging as far as where do you keep the pot and where does it go from there. I doubt this would grow much longer. I suspect you'll get more growth around the top part as it roots up. But that was more my thing. Trailers, spillers, the types that grow long and down can be challenging as far as where you store them, because unless you've got places where you can hang things, you know, it's tricky to know where to pot them. So I'm going to go with the suggestion, God forgive me, I can't remember who suggested it, but thank you. And I was kind of leaning that way in my head, so I think it's confirmation. One thing I noticed about donkey's tails is they're not easy to replant. They're very touchy as far as dropping leaves. If you just hit it up the wrong way, leaves fall off, and they don't look very nice when they're a bit sparse and gappy, right? Agreed. So what I think I might do, so what I'm trying to say is, I think when you're working with something like this, you don't want to have to replant it again. Wherever you plant it, let that be its home, its house. That's where it's going to be, because I can't imagine they replant as easy as other succulents. So what I thought was, I've got these. I got this from that Daiso, that Japanese bargain shop, and it's a hanging tin sort of pot, and I've got a few hanging already in my shade house. I might insert some footage right now. So I'm in my shade house. I know you're all curious about all these little pots, what's going on. Don't really feel like doing that right now, but I just wanted to show you. There's the same tin, and there's a cutting of the donkey's tail. So, and there's another one there. Now, where I put cuttings of these, and then, you know, when they're up high, they can go as long as you want. So what I'm thinking is chop it up into small bits and put them in there, including some leaves that have fallen off. So I might just do that really quickly now. And I'm really not 100% sure on the length or what I'm doing, so I'm winging it. So let's come along for the ride, wing it with me. Now, I would assume it would be good to take a few of the bottom leaves off, to give it a little nubby bit to start off with, and just throw those extra leaves in the pot. So I think that's the way to go. Hope that makes sense. Sometimes in my mind, when I'm thinking about what I'm going to say, it sounds perfectly normal, and then when I try and say it, I sound like and feel like a retard. But I got a feeling some of you are very similar to me. I shouldn't say retard. You know, we live in a PC world now, don't we? Where that might offend somebody. So sorry if it does, but there was no offence to be taken. I'm really, you know, picking on myself. It's very tricky these days. I'm from a different generation where, I don't know, I don't think our feelings get as hurt as easy. Water off a duck's back kind of thing. You know, put your hand up if you agree on that. I don't want to get controversial or anything. That's not what I'm about here. So let's see how that goes. Oh, I think I have another piece too I cut off a while ago. Yeah, there it is. God, it looks very sad and sorry, doesn't it? I did get that to root up, but I think that's irrelevant because it looks not healthy here. So I might chop this one up as well. I'll just go straight in the middle. Yeah. Oh, I forgot to mention too, before when I was talking about my cuttings from Evelyn from the plant swap, I haven't done anything with them. I don't think I mentioned it. I haven't done anything with it yet because I want to get a really nice pretty pot for them, and I'm going to call it Evelyn's pot, and I don't have any spare nice pots, so that's why I haven't potted them up yet. It's a weekend. I try and avoid going to Bunnings for American viewers or Canadian viewers. Bunnings is our major house and garden centre sort of thing, you know, hardware centre. That's a big garden centre. I guess you guys have Lowe's or something. I guess that would be equivalent. Oh well, I'm fussing around with that too much. So that's what I'm doing with that one. I have some more updates as well. Oh, incidentally, I didn't fill the soil all the way up to the top of the rim. You know, I like it to be level and flush because I know when this hangs, it tilts. How can I demonstrate this from above? Anyway, it tilts on the side. It leans forward. Can't really see it, but don't want everything to fall out. Speaking of that, before I update you, I wanted to explain more clearer with an example of what I mean. This is a lovely clump of Echeveria badis. Yes, I think that's how you say it. Am I zoomed in or zoomed out? I'm zoomed in a bit. Beautiful, isn't it? When it you know, when they're all dense and clumpy like that. Started off with one head, threw off a few heads, and now it's getting to a point where these heads are trying to, I call them escaping. Do you know what I mean? They're like above everything. But see here how this is butting up against the rim. I don't like that. That's what I'm talking about when you plant your stuff above the rim. That can't happen. It's not the best example, but it sort of shows you what I'm talking about. So when I realized this happens, I went through most of my pots and I raised them by just adding a bit more soil or top dressing and just lifting everything up. I'm going to take some cuttings out of that. Should I do it now? Yeah, I might as well do it now. I think the thing with clumps is you get to a point where like it gets really, you know, it fills up, gets really dense, and it looks hot, like, you know, looks grouse, looks great. My adjectives, I'm trying to find a good adjective. It's like you just peek and it looks beautiful. But then it starts to grow beyond that, where they're all sort of competing for space, and this is what it looks like to me. Still a really good look, but these ones are over the top of what's happening there, and those ones underneath there will just distort, or the water will get stuck in there if you allow your pants to get rained on. And so anyway, I think it's just a good time to chop. So that is what I shall do. Not all of them, just a couple. Okay, just having a quick look for mealies, and then we'll take that other one that's trying to escape. So now these will grow a bit and sort of fill into that void. Compulsive, got to remove leaves, you know me. I might, while we're here, elevate these a little bit more over the rim. Like I said, oh God, I've got to pull out leaves. I can't help myself. Compulsive. Somebody stop me. Someone stop me. Okay. I'm good. Hold on. I just went to get some top dressing, and I'll just do a quick sort of improvisation. Just getting underneath there. See if we can elevate it a bit. I see dry leaves. Just ignore them, Susan. Don't pluck them out. Just ignore them. It's okay. I am playing with you guys, but yeah, it's hard not to just spend hours. You can lose so much track of time with just removing dry leaves. They're just endless. Is that an actual... That looks like a stowaway. I'm not sure if it's an offset or something found its way in there. Oh, I might as well do around the whole rim. I've got to get more. You can use soil or your potting medium as well to elevate it. I'm just finding the top dressing is just a quick way to push it all up a little bit higher right now. Oh, I love feeling them when they're dense and full. Do you? Do you do that? It's like patting them like they're a pet. Just trying to show you the profile. So nothing's really stuck under the rim now. Okay. So I thought I'd just update you on a few other pots that I've shown you before. So speaking of beheadings, do you recall this one? So now these two new rosettes are growing quite nicely, aren't they? For those who didn't see, I cut out the center point because I had insect damage or some sort of damage, probably mealies, I can't recall. And then this one here is getting quite big, and it's growing something like the rosette is growing in a weird kind of way, and I think that's because these other leaves are in its way. So I might pull off a few more leaves. There's your name, for those who like names. I'll just try and wiggle that one out. Same thing, I took the center point out. I don't think that was a clean break. So I might just try and pick out the remaining bit of leaf I left in there. Yeah, same thing. I took out the center point because there was damage, and because I'm a sicko and I like doing it. I like doing it because I find it fascinating watching what the plant does to try and, grow new growth. That's better. Took that off better, but it's not a very healthy leaf. I doubt that will propagate. Not that I'm trying to leaf propagate these. I think I broke that too. Gross. There's a worm. Can you see it? He's made his way out of the pot. I guess he was having a good time in there. I wonder if I could throw him out for the birds. Oh, yeah, I just throw him in another part of the garden. Yeah, oops, camera stand again, it's a bit squishy. There's still a little bit of that leaf remaining. It didn't come off properly. I'm such a hack. Yeah, I'll do. Yeah, no, we'll leave that. Where's my cinnamon? Oh, it's over somewhere else. Okay, a little bit of cinnamon there probably couldn't hurt as well. Do I have some leaf propagations in here? There's a couple of loose leaves there. I don't think much is happening. No. I'll check these other ones in there as well. Who knows? That one's broken, that won't work. Maybe. Not hopeful. But the size of that's quite considerable since last time we saw it. And then this was another one. Now I don't understand this. So look at the leaf. It looks nearly heart-shaped there, and there, and there, and there. Hello? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if that's because of mealies, I doubt it, or insects. Very odd. But you can see the new growth has gotten quite big. And then I've got one last update, and that is the Kente. Okay, just make a bit of space. I have the pot right here. Oh, it's a heavy pot. So, what's the backstory again? I beheaded it. Why did I behead it? I think because I noticed that the stem had a little rot or something happening. And I beheaded it. Sorry, I was just thinking about something. How do I turn this around without touching the farina? I know, like this. Very tricky. So there we go. There's some new roots happening. So it's always a relief when one of your, valuable ones or most precious, treasured ones do what you want it to do. I'm clearly going to lose some lower leaves. That's okay. I might, just to pretty it up a bit. Sometimes I just like to cut off the dry stuff, so you can't really see them, rather than removing the whole leaf. And you could remove the leaf. I just don't like to take big large leaves off prematurely. I have discussed this before, because what happens is when you remove leaves, the stem gets distorted in its thickness, which is really not an issue unless your stem is shown. Like you can see the stem. I like the stems to look nice. I've talked about that before. That will do for now. It's a little bit of fussing around. And that is it, I think. Oh, the neem cake. Hang on. Just got to reach around and get it. Did you have a bath time? Did you have a bath time? That's my doggy. He's coming to dry himself. My son just gave the dogs a wash. That's his job. That's one of his jobs in the house, and he's very good. So Evelyn gave me the neem cake, and Janet was surprised that I didn't mind the smell. Now I got to smell it again because I can't recall. Definitely has not a bad aroma. Yeah, no, I like it. It smells like I said last time, good cooking. When Evelyn gave me this and I found it in the parcel, I didn't really elaborate on it too much then, because I was more surprised, caught off guard that she was kind enough to give me some. She is super good at making soil mediums and doing her experiments with trying different blends of different stuff, different pumices and all the good stuff, which is definitely one of my weaknesses. But she came across this stuff, and it is the extract for when they make neem oil. So apparently it's a plant, and it's an insect deterrent, and it's got some good minerals and stuff that plants like, so it works like a fertilizing agent. I forgot how to apply it, so I might have a quick chat with Evelyn to remind me what to do with this. Or she might pipe up and say something in the comments for us, but I am very keen to give it a go. So anyway, that is all. I think I'm done for the day, and again, thank you to everybody who comments and watches. I really do appreciate the interaction. I do really love getting to know all of you, making friends with everybody. So ciao, bye for now, and I'll talk to you all soon. I wanted to sincerely thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, I would really appreciate it if you liked it and subscribed to my channel. Also, you can find me as S's for Succulents on my Instagram and Facebook page, where I post daily photos with tips and information. So come and hang out with me there. It's a great place to chat and connect. Thank you.